welcome to World of Warships. My name is Leo. Thank you for watching the video. Today I'm going to show you a game that I played in the Mutsuki. It's the Tier 6 Japanese destroyer. With the modules I've got in the Captain's Skill, survivability is rated at 22 out of 100. It's got 14,000 hit points. I'm using the Sea Hull. Armor is only 10 to 16 millimeters, so don't really count on that. Artillery is 12 out of 100. Not really great guns on it. That's the biggest downfall of this ship. Guns with the Sea Hull, you have 2 times 120 millimeter guns with a range of 7.6 kilometers and a 6-second reload time. Now that's twice as good as the reload time that you get with the other hull with the 4 times 120 millimeter guns. So your fire output is still the same, with the big risk being that if one of your turrets get knocked out, there goes half of your DPS. But we're not really worried about that in this boat. The 180-degree traverse time of 18 seconds is pretty good. Max damage with both the HE and the AP is 2,000 points. Torpedoes rated 19 out of 100. That doesn't seem too good, especially for Tier 6. But they're better than that number would lead you to believe. You've got 2 times 3 610 millimeter tubes with a range of 10 kilometers at 59 knots. They reload in 76 seconds and have a max damage of 16,267 points. AA defense number looks better than the torpedoes, but don't count on it. The range is from 3.1 to 5 kilometers. I just leave that turned off unless I know I'm spotted and I'm just going to fight it out. Maneuverability is a strong point of this ship. Max speed is 37.5 knots, turning circle of 550 meters, and a rudder shift time of 2.1 seconds. Concealment is the strongest point of this ship. It's got a 6 kilometer surface detectability range and a 3.1 kilometer air detectability range. Well, we're going to be playing today on the map New Dawn. The team lineups look pretty even, so this should be an interesting and competitive match. See how it goes. Take a look at the mini-map. We've spawned on the north side of this map. We're the closest destroyer to the A cap, so I'm almost always inclined to try to take A. Unless their destroyers try to get there quickly, we can beat their cruisers and battleships there, and sometimes it can be a pretty easy cap. So we'll head out in that direction. Doesn't look like a lot of our friends are interested in going this way. I've got a cruiser going with me. I appreciate that, and just watching the mini-map to see how this is going to play out. Looks like we've got a couple more cruisers that are going to come in this direction. Well, one of them turns toward B. The other one's still headed in this direction. B is already being capped, so hopefully that's where both of their destroyers are at. No, one of them is not in that cap. As we come up here, I see that this Fuso is going to pass barely within range of my torpedoes, so I fire them off in his direction, and I turn north, get out of this cap just about the time that I'm done capping it, and that was a pretty easy cap. That's how it works out for us a lot of times going here. I turn around. I think about going north of the island, but then decide that I want to keep a little closer to the action. I've got enough room between me and these guys. There's airplanes incoming, so I figure, you know what? I'm going to pop my smoke to kind of protect me from these airplanes from being seen. But I'm also going to see if I can't get this Pensacola in my smoke screen. So I maneuver toward him, pop my smoke, and try to steer it in a way that he's going to be within my smoke. That means that he's going to be able to fire without being seen by other ships or by the airplanes. So we continue on to the east. There's enough ships coming around over here that I'm not comfortable staying in the area. And you saw some shots going in there on the Fuso from the cruiser. Airplanes coming around the north. They're hunting for our carrier. I really don't have any AA. Can't help them out very much, so I'm going to launch some more torpedoes at these ships approaching up here, but I'm going to try to maintain a little distance between me and them. And there's, I believe that's an Ognoboy, is how you pronounce that. Not 100% sure, but it's a gunboat, and I'm not going to tangle with him, especially not one-on-one. So I decide that I'm going to maintain distance between he and I, and I'm watching those torpedoes going in, see how they're looking. not really looking all those that good. Don't think those are going to hit anything. So I keep an eye on this Ognaboy. Don't want him to catch me out here in the open with my smoke down. Turn to the north. Looking at the rest of the map, well, we've got A, we've got C, and we're working on B. So it's looking pretty good for us. We've got a pretty good lead uh, as far as points are, and we just took out another one of their destroyers. So both their destroyers are gone, and I managed to get a hit, a couple of hits, nice hits on the Fuso over there. So good job for the Mutsuki. Continue going this way. There's quite a few ships coming around that western flank, and I don't want to get caught out with, just and get blown out of the water. They start capping A, and when I take a cap, I kind of uh, develop a proprietary attitude toward it. So I'm coming back to try to defend this cap as well as I can without killing myself. And I've got an idea that guy's going to cut in close to the island. The York's going to cut in close to the island, so I launched some torpedoes right along the edge of the island, and I turn around just in time to see our friendly Pensacola just get blown to hell. There's another Pensacola coming around that way. He's a danger, so I want to keep an eye on him. Also want to watch those torpedoes as they go in, and he didn't cut quite as close to that island as I thought he would, so I guess those are going to miss. They've capped A, and I'm not really happy about that, but I'm even less happy about a York and a Pensacola steaming up behind me. And then there's the Fuso comes popping around the island. He's pretty well hurt, so I'm thinking that's going to be a high priority target for us. Turn around, head back down through here. B and C look good. Looks like we've got that whole end of the map very well in hand. I'm thinking this is going to be a cakewalk. Now, we're up one on the ship count. We're up almost double the amount of points they have. And I'm thinking, well, I've got a couple hits in on this. It's looks like we're going to win, but it's not going to have that great of a game. Just goes to show, spoiler alert, you can't always count on early results. They're pushing really hard around the west. They're coming across from the west, heading toward the east in force. So I'm heading south. I want to be in a position where I can have the support of my teammates, where their guns can hit these guys, and that I can use that to create an opportunity for me to make another torpedo run. They're just not really in a good position for me to shoot. They're behind islands, and we've got the Pensacola and the Fuso coming around that way. So I turn and head to the east, and I've got the idea that what I'll do is I'll head north, and I'll try to flank around to the north of those ships. So I point my nose north and start heading in that way. And as a side note here, you take a look at this sky. The graphics on this game, even playing on relatively low settings like I do because of my quote potato computer, it's still a beautiful game. Launch my torpedoes in the direction of the Fuso. I'm hoping that he'll continue to steam in a straight line and not have learned his lesson from when we shot the torps at him before. And we're still looking good on B and C. We've got a good points lead. We're behind a little bit on ships now, but I'm still thinking, well, they're not going to really be able to do very much. My team is going to come in. We'll have a pincer movement kind of with me and the cruiser up here to the north, these guys to the south. So we ought to be able to clean this up pretty good. Watch those torpedoes going in. They're not really looking bad. I think he knows they're going to hit him. I see him starting to move. Well, we get 1, 2 in on him. Start 2 flooding. But we didn't quite kill him. The cruiser's firing in on him. That's good. Now this is something that you really got to keep an eye out for when you're playing the game. When your destroyers almost but not quite kill a ship, that's a sitting duck for you. That's a kill for you. destroyers are going to have to reload as torpedoes. Now, that's another thing with the Mutsuki. This is the first Japanese destroyer that really has long-range torpedoes, and this is the first time you really have to get used to having to wait a long time between reloads. And I'm wanting to get a shot on the Fuso, but he doesn't have many hit points. He's got me spotted, so well, heck with it. I'm going to shoot at him with my gun. He's on fire. Maybe we can get the killing blow in on him. I see torpedoes coming in uh, from the left there, and those torpedoes get him. He's dead. But his airplane is in the air, and with all these ships over here, that airplane spotted me. I'm expecting uh, massive amounts of fire to come in my way, so I pop my smoke, put the smoke between me and the airplane, and you see I'm running in and out. Um, that helps you some. You're running in and out because that throws their aim off a little bit. My experience is it doesn't throw their aim off that much, but it does help you out just a little bit. And they are tunnel vision fixated on somebody besides me, and that's perfect. Now the New Mexico is right at the edge of my torpedo uh, uh, range, and so I fire off a couple at him. Uh, Turn back around to see if his airplane is still up, but I can't see it. The fog or smoke is between me and the airplane. So I cut back around, and it looks like they've left A unattended. And I'm still kind of a little bit uh, OCD about A, so I'm going back to get it. Uh, Keeping an eye out to make sure that there's not anybody else, that I haven't spotted that's, hiding behind one of these islands. Don't have to worry about destroyers. Destroyers are all gone. And, I'm starting to lose a little confidence. We still have a substantial points lead, but we're losing B. They've got an advantage in ships now. We still have our destroyers, so I'm thinking, yep, we can still do that. Now, the New Mexico saw those torps coming and decided to turn, but I still got him with one hit. We got some flooding, and you see the other torpedoes peter out just right at that point. So that's something that if you can do is really good, is learn how to uh, uh, put those torps right at the edge of your range for those slow battleships. And when I turn around, what to my wondering eyes does appear but the saipan? So I start shooting my one gun at the saipan. Uh, Maybe his attention will get on me, and when his airplanes come back, he'll send them at me, and I can try to dodge. I'm a little better at dodging them than other people on our team, but we've only got 3 guys left. So I close the range. I want to get in close enough where I make sure I can't miss him. I don't miss him, because the most embarrassing thing for me driving destroyers is shooting at a aircraft carrier, shooting torpedoes at an aircraft carrier, and not getting him. Guns, I'm not that much worried about, but I'm going to get a couple hits in on him, pad that damage score pretty good, and he's gone. No more aircraft carrier for the enemy team. But in the meantime, we're down to 2 destroyers versus 4 capital ships on their side. Uh, Looks like 2 cruisers and 2 battleships. Well, I'm going to cap A. It doesn't look like any of their guys are in range to really do anything about it. And we've still got that substantial points lead, nowhere near as much as it was. And I just want to avoid dying. I want to get the cap. I'm spotted. I pop my smoke, get away. I get hit, but I'm out of his range. They've decided they're going to try to capture A, maybe get some cap points on that. I'm heading for B. If worst comes worst, I'll cap B. But the point score, we've done it. We have managed to hold off 2 destroyers against 2 cruisers, 2 battleships that were not in a really good position, and we win. Well, we made 696,000 credits, had 10,000 adjusted experience, had only 5 hits with our guns. We had 10 torpedo hits. We sunk 1, and we captured 2 bases, which was really good for us. We managed to come in number 1 on the team score with 2,600 base experience. Really good result for us. Our friendly Hatsahara also had a good game with 1,800 base experience. Destroyers carried the day. Destroyers rule, everybody else rules. Looking at the damage report, we see that we did about 118,000 damage, which is a good game by anybody's estimation. Thank you for watching the video. My name is Leo. Look forward to seeing you next time.